Welcome to Metalacto. Today we are going to discuss in detail the components of the female external genitalia, which is also called vulva or you can say pudendum. So let's start. So as we know that the external genitalia also called vulva or you can say pudendum. So these are the other terminologies used for the female external genitalia. So in this lecture we will discuss 6 components of the external genitalia. So here you can see that the first component is the mons veneris or you can say pubis. Next is the labia majora. Third component is the labia minora. So these are basically the 3 components, and next fourth is the clitoris. Fifth is vestibule, and last one is the perineum. So these are basically the 6 components. We will discuss each component one by one. So here you can see this is the structures of the female external genitalia, and in this case this portion is actually the anus portion, and here you can see this is the overall different components of the female external genitalia. So first of all we will discuss the mons veneris. We will discuss mons veneris or you can say pubic. So first of all, the uppermost area or the part of the female external genitalia is called the mons veneris. So here this component is actually the mons veneris or you can say pubic. Why do we call it mons and veneris? Mons actually mean mountain. This word came from mountain, and veneris means charm or attraction. And pubic, why do we call it mons pubic? Because it is actually present above the pubic bone, which is actually involved in the formation of the hip bone. So pubic bone, it is present above the pubic bone, then we called it mons veneris. Here you can see like this way. This bone is actually the pubic bone, and it is actually present over there. Front side of the pubic bone there is a mons pubic or you can say mons veneris. So this is actually the first component of the female external genitalia. And in this case, lot of subcutaneous tissues, adipose tissues, lot of adipose tissues present in the mons veneris, and it is actually prominent area of the genitalia. And in this case, lot of hairs are present over the mons veneris. So first one is the subcutaneous tissue present in the mons veneris. This is the one point. Second one is the, in the case of adult female, you will see the hair present on the mons veneris area, and in the mons veneris area you will see the lot of hairs present over there. So this is actually the mons veneris area. Next one is the labia majora. This is actually the analogous component of the male, which is the scrotum. This is the analogous to the scrotum. Labia majora is the first outermost part of the genitalia, and here you can see this component. This is the labia majora, which is analogous to the scrotum. Labia majora also contain lot of subcutaneous tissue. Lot of subcutaneous tissue, and it also contain lot of adipose tissues. So lot of adipose tissues also present in the labia majora. Adipose tissue present in the labia majora region, and in the labia majora you also see that lot of glands present in it, like sebaceous gland, oil gland, and hair follicle. So three components, major components present in the labia majora. This is this sweat gland. First one is the sweat gland. Second one is the sebaceous gland, and last is the hair follicle. Hair follicles present above the labia majora. Here you can see there are lot of hair follicles. These are actually the lot of hair follicles present on the labia majora. Follicle. So lot of hair follicles present on the labia majora. But you also see that at the posterior side and at the anterior side you will see the commissure, which are actually the junction. So labia majora at the posterior side and at the anterior side, they form a commissure junction, which is called the anterior. So anterior commissure and the posterior commissures. So these are basically the two commissures which are present at the levels of the labia majora. So these are basically the two commissures. Next we will talk about the labia minora. So next is the labia minora. This is actually the analogous component of the ventral aspect of the penis, which is present in the male. So labia minora, it has two thick layers. As you can see that the below the labia majora there are two membranes, first and the second. First is the, you can see with the blue color, and second is the green color. So these are basically the two membranes of the labia minora, and this is the actually the labia minora. So these are basically the two layers, and these layers do not contain any fats or adipose tissue. So you see that there is no fat, or you can say adipose tissues in the labia minora. So no adipose tissue in the labia minora. In that situation you will see that sebaceous glands also present in the labia minora, but sweat gland will not present in this situation in labia minora. And third is the, you see that there is no hair follicle. Hair follicle also do not present in the labia minora. And you see that at the posterior side, this is actually the posterior, this is the anterior. At the posterior side of the labia minora, you will see a structure which is called the, this structure is called the Forchatti. This is actually a frenulum like structure. It actually provides a junction between the two layers. So Forchatti is actually present at the posterior side of the labia minora. So this is the basic component which is present in that situation. And in the Paris woman, here you can see in the Paris woman, which actually carry the first baby, and in the Paris woman, labia minora is not prominent. It will lacerate during the first child. So in that situation, in this case, labia minora is ruptured in the Paris woman, but in non-Paris woman it is prominent. And third is the clitoris. Clitoris is basically covered by the labia minora at the front side and at the back side. Here you can see that this is the clitoris, and clitoris is actually covered at the both sides, at the front side and at the back side. At the front side, it is covered by the membrane which is called the prepuce, and at the back side it is covered by the frenulum. Frenulum is actually a membranous like structure that combine the two different things. It can also present below the tongue. Just like the tongue, it is also present at the back side of the clitoris. This is the frenulum. And Forchetti is actually a type of the frenulum. This is actually present at the posterior side. But the frenulum, which is the clitoris frenulum, this is actually present at the posterior side, which is a bit below the clitoris. So this is actually the two frenulum. Clitoris frenulum and the Forchetti, which is actually also the frenulum. And now if we see the detailed structure, this is actually the posterior side which can visible outside, but actual structure is this one, is the clitoris. This is the actual structures of the clitoris. Clitoris has three basic components: head, neck area and the tail. So here you can see this head area is prominent outside. This is the head area, and it is also called glans clitoris. Head region is also called glans clitoris. Next area is the body, or you can say shaft. Next is the body. First is the head, next is the body, and last, here you can see two tails of the clitoris, and these are also called crura. Crura are basically the tails of the clitoris. And you can also see that there are two bulbs which are joined with the clitoris. Here there are the two bulbs area. These are called the vestibular bulb. Vestibular bulbs are present or attached with the clitoris. And here you can see this is actually at the below side, this is actually the vaginal opening, and upside is the urethral opening. So these are basically the two opening, vaginal and the urethral. And at their both sides, either side, you will see the vestibular bulb. So these are basically the two bulbs which are actually present at the left and the right side. And you also see the now we will discuss the vestibular area. This one, vestibular area. This area which is present inside the labia minora. So inside the labia minora you will see the vestibular region. This is actually a triangular region. And you will see at the top side you will see the clitoris, like this one. This area is actually the clitoris. And at the posterior side you will see the Forchetti. And at the both sides you will see the labia minora at the both sides, labia minora. So this is actually a triangular region. Here you can see this is a triangular region. At the both sides you will see the labia minora. At the front side you will see the clitoris, and at the beneath side you will see the fourchette. So this vestibular region, you will see the different opening. First is the, here you can see this opening, which is actually at the below side is the vaginal opening, and this is the, this way, this is the urethral opening. So these are basically the two openings, vaginal and the urethral opening. You will see a gland. Here you can see, like if you see that the this is the urethra, and a gland which is present at, here you can see these glands can open. Here you can see the two glands. These glands are actually called the Skin's gland, or you can say lesser vestibular gland. Lesser vestibular gland, and other third name is the paraurethral gland. So these are the same: Skin's gland, lesser vestibular gland, and the paraurethral gland. It can open into the urethra. This is a one case. And second, it can also, this is the urethra, and the opening of these glands will be separate. There are two situations. It can either attach to the urethral opening, or it can be separate from the urethra. So here you will see, if they attach to the urethra, the opening will be one. But if these glands, or you can say a Skin's gland, open separately, then these are actually prominent in the vestibular region. So these are basically the two cases of the Skin's gland. And Skin gland is analogous to the prostate glands in the male. So this is the analogous to the prostate gland. Next gland is actually the, here you can see at this level, at the posterior side, at the vaginal side, you will see an other gland which is called Bartholin gland. So at this level you will see another gland which is called the Bartholin's gland. This gland is also called the greater. This is also called the greater vestibular gland. So Bartholin gland, also called the greater vestibular gland. This is actually P-shaped gland. Its size is 0.5 centimeter, and it release a alkaline mucus secretion in the vestibular region. So Bartholin gland is actually involved in the secretion of the alkaline secretion, and it actually composed of two epithelium. Here you can see like this way. It is actually present like this way. This is the opening side of the Bartholin gland. At the opening side, you will see the stratified squamous epithelium. What epithelium? Stratified squamous epithelium is actually present at the opening side of the Bartholin gland. But at the inner side, you will see the columnar epithelium. What type of epithelium? Columnar epithelium. Columnar epithelium is present at the inner side of the Bartholin gland, and at the opening side you will see the stratified squamous epithelium. So this is actually the construction of the Bartholin gland, and Bartholin gland is basically analogous to the bulbourethral gland in the male. So this is we discussed the two glands, Skin glands, which is actually analogous to the prostate gland in the male, and the Bartholin gland, which is actually analogous to the bulbourethral gland in the male. So these are basically the two glands which are actually present in the vestibular area or region. And if we see last important vary component, second last important vary component is the hymen. What hymen is actually basically a membrane which cover the vaginal introitus. This cover the hymen is actually a mucous membrane which cover the vaginal introitus, and it actually present in different form. It can be crescent shape like this is the vaginal opening, and it can also present at the different shape like this way. These are basically this way. This can also present in this way, crescent shape and circular. So in non-parous, or you can say virgins or nulliparous women, you will see that the vaginal introitus is covered by the hymen. But in the parous women who carry the first baby, in that situation, parous, or you can say hymen, will lacerate during birth and it cause lot of bleeding, and in that situation you will see that the hymen can convert into the nodules. It will convert into the nodules, which is called the carunculi multiformes. Carunculi multiformes. So this is actually the nodular structure which convert when the hymen lacerate, it will convert into the carunculi multiformes. So this is actually the hymen region, and it is lot of structure. Lot in hymen can present in lot of structure, lot of shapes are present in the hymen. So this is actually the one case. Next, last component, this is actually the all the regions. This is present in the vestibular region, and the last component is the perineum. Perineum is basically a space or the skin present between the head. This is the vagina and this is the anus. The space which is present between the vagina and the anus is called the perineum. This is actually the perineum. This is actually the skin which is present between these two components. So this is actually the mons veneris, labium majora, minora, clitoris, vestibular, and the perineum. So if we see that this way, this is actually the lateral side or the other side view, that this is the column, vertebral column. This is the vertebral column. So this is actually our view of the external genitalia, how different components arrange in the external genitalia. First one is, you will see the vertebral column. Second component is basically the colon. This is the opening of the colon, and next is the opening of the vagina. So this is the opening of the vagina, this is the opening of the anus, or you can say anus, upper part will be the colon. So colon open into the anus, and here you can see this is the vagina, and this is actually the cervix region, and last is the uterus. So this is the different components which are present above the vagina. And next, above the vagina, you will see the urethra. And in that situation, above side the urethra, you will see the urinary bladder. And last is the pubic bone. So these are basically the different components and arranged. First is the anus, vagina, urethra, and last is the pubic bone, which is present above the front side of the body. So this is all about the external genitalia. If you have any question, then you may ask in the comment section. Thank you.